guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So today we're taking a look at this guy. It's the Protoceratops from the Toyway Resaurus Carnage line. Now we've already reviewed the Stegosaurus and the Styracosaurus, and we've had an unboxing. I'll put a link to all those videos down below. You should check them out because they're really exciting figures. This one here is definitely a recast of the Styracosaurus. I think the only thing that's different is the head sculpt and possibly along the back as well. Let's give you a quick 360 so you can get a good look at this guy. Wonderful paint job, really nice airbrushing going on here is my first impression. And actually the colour scheme reminds me a little bit of the Tyrannosaurus Rex from The Lost World. It's got that sort of jungly green feeling going on. Okay, let's take a closer look at this guy. So first off, let's take a look at this detailed base. You can see we've got some really nicely sculpted ferns and other plant life, some vines, some nice logs in there, and we've got a nice variation in the colours of green in the plant life. We've got some nice dry brushed moss going on in amongst the earth. Really nice attention to detail. And then we've got this nice nameplate with a brush of paint underlining it. Just a really nice looking display base and something they didn't have to include. So here is the Protoceratops as a whole, and I think he looks really nice. The colour scheme works really well, looks really genuine. I believe the sculpt. Just an all-round brilliant figure. So taking a closer look at this guy and starting off with the head, you can see we've got a very familiar head sculpt, and that's because it's based off of the Styracosaurus that we've already reviewed. The main differences being the frill, the extra horns above the brow, and also the horn on the nose. But I really like the variation of greens going on here. They've gone for a slightly different painted eye. They've gone for more like a cat's eye, sort of black on white. And then if I open up the jaw, you can see we've got a sculpted and painted tongue, nothing amazing. We have got a sculpted roof of the mouth, but unfortunately they've forgotten to paint it. So that's a little bit disappointing. Also, I think the beak could do with some weathering or some dry brushing. I know on the Styracosaurus we had a nice gradient. Even that would have been, you know, really nice to see. So it's a shame that we've got this sort of block black beak. But apart from that, I mean, the paint scheme, you can't really fault it. And then as we move down the neck, you've got lovely creases going on here. Nice sort of lines of compression. I love this sort of armour plating going along the back. Very similar to what we saw on the Styracosaurus, so you can see these came off the same sculpt. Again, really nice creases around the shoulder area. We've got some nice creases going all the way down the leg, some nice lines of compression around the feet. Nicely sculpted and painted feet there. Some nice variations of different greens in the leg. This cut off here, where the green sort of joins up with the body, is a little bit harsh. I mean, if it was me, I would have preferred more of a gradient that goes all the way down the leg. But that's just me being fussy. And then as we move across the torso, nice skin sort of hanging down here. Really nice. Nice lines going all the way across the belly. As we come to the back leg, you can see the sort of hint of musculature there. Nicely sculpted leg. Feels very sort of rhino-like. I like all these creases going on down here as well. Nicely sculpted and painted toe claws. Really nice. And then we've got some nice creases going on here. And then we join up with the tail. Now at this point, the tail becomes a rubbery material. All the rest is a hard plastic. And I don't know if this had a wire in it once before. Just like the Stegosaurus, I think they might have had wires in them at some point. Let me know if you own this one and it did have wires in it, but I can't see any air holes, which is usually a good indicator of this being a posable tail, so maybe this just was a realistic feeling tail. But nicely sculpted. I think we've got a lot of shrinkage going on, which was something we had with the Stegosaurus. You can see the tail recedes far too much, and I don't know if this is a manufacturing problem or whether it's just something that's happened over time. And as we carry on down this side, you see on this side we've got much more clear sculpted lines, and this was the same on the Styracosaurus. So I think maybe this is a sort of a moulding and casting flaw, but I really prefer the sculpt on this side. Really nice clear creases going all the way down. Again, across the torso, really nice creases all the way across here. Really nice folds and things, just really adds sort of a feeling of realistic looking skin. Nice scapula coming up here and sort of protruding across the shoulder, really nice. And then you can see here nicely sculpted legs, a little bit more clear on this side, and then we join back up with that head sculpt. So in terms of articulation, you can open the jaw this far. You can move the head up and down this far. It's on a ball joint, so it can twist that far. The only thing it can't do is move left and right very far because it's hindered by the shape of the neck. On the front legs here, you can move that far at the shoulder and that far back. At the elbow, it can bend that far forwards and that far back, so you can get a lot of posing out of this guy. On the back leg, you can move it this far forwards, that far back, and then at the knee, you can bend it really far and really far forward. So if you're doing a stop motion project, bear in mind that the head is a little bit loose on this one. You might want to tighten up that with a bit of nail varnish or something like that. But I think this would be pretty good for a stop motion project because you've got so much posability there. So just how big is this fella? So we're looking at about 10 inches, which is about 26 centimeters. And in terms of the height, you're looking at about 5 inches, which is about 13 centimeters. So it's quite a sizable dinosaur figure. Okay, size comparison time. Let's bring in the Toyway Resaurus Stegosaurus. And this has been recently reviewed on the channel. Link is down below. You can see the Stegosaurus is a little bit taller due to his plates. But in terms of the general body mass, the Protoceratops is bigger than this guy over here. And let's bring in the Tokaratomi Brachiosaurus, again recently reviewed on the channel. Link is down below if you want to see this guy reviewed. And you can see that he kind of just comes up to the frill of the Protoceratops. So that gives you an idea how these two size up. And here's the Protoceratops just hanging out with the compies. And you can see he kind of comes up to just underneath the knee. So there we have it, guys. That was today's look at the Protoceratops from Toyway's Resaurus Carnage line. I think the biggest charm about these dinosaur toys is their displayability. They look absolutely beautiful on the shelf, and the fact that they're articulated is a real bonus. I think if you're a dinosaur toy manufacturer, these are a great point of reference to start at because they're just really nicely painted, really nicely sculpted, and they've got great articulation. The base is an absolute bonus, and for 1997 they really were ahead of the game. It's a shame that more of these dinosaurs weren't made following the release of these, but I imagine they were having to compete with the Lost World in 1997. What do you guys think? Do you own this one already? Let me know in the comments down below, and in the meantime, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.